Melbourne staked their claim as the best side of the 90s by winning the 99 flag from Carlton. It would not come without a mighty fight. The Blues had come into the finals from 6th and won their way into the grand final courtesy of a 1-point preliminary final win over minor premiers Essendon. Many thought that Carlton had played and won their personal grand final a week early. The Roos had been consistent all year and had finished in second position. They had a standout forward in Wayne Carey, the All-Australian captain, who had topped 70 goals for the year from centre-half forward. He was expected to be the key to the game. This was a coaching showdown between two of the most meticulous planners in football, Carlton's David Parkin and North's Dennis Pagan. Who were the big threats in this game? Well, Carlton had the talented midfield, players like skipper Craig Bradley, Brett Ratton, Scott Camperali, and tough and dependable backmen in Stephen Silvani, Sauce, and Andrew Mackay. I was expecting huge things from Carey, who was the #1 football player that year. Corey McKernan also, and those attacking backmen Glenn Archer and Mickey Martin. In fact, it would be Peter Bell and North Smith medalist Shannon Grant who would provide the bulk of North's firepower and prove to be the match winners. Enjoy the 99 grand final, a fine match between two of the quality teams of modern football. It is one of my top 20 grand finals and part of the WEG Grand Final series on DVD from Australian Football Video.
Another AFL tradition, born in 1977, is the singing of a quintessential Australian ballad. Please welcome Australia's finest vocal group, Human Nature.
Was a jolly swagman, camped by a billabong, under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited till his belly boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee, and he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. Oh, you'll never catch me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong.
Well, the Kangaroos are about to come out. We're going to come out there with them. King comes through, David King. Huge day for them. Their third grand final in 4 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they come. We can just welcome on the MTV for the grand final, Wayne Kangaroo.
12 men from that 1996 Premiership team. In total, 17 men who have played in a grand final before. Does it count for anything today?
Oh, it does. I mean, having the experience of having been here before certainly gives you composure when the pressure is hot, but let's not forget there's a few from Carlton that have gone through exactly the same thing.
Longmire, such a day for him, as we've talked about. He would have dreamed about this occasion, this chance, this one last chance for him on his 200th game. And here's Steve-O, he already looks proppy, doesn't he?
Well, he's going to be an important player, and if they can strap him up and fill him with enough juice just to get him through the hard stuff, that'll be a great contribution for the Kangaroos.
He had 5 shots at goal before he went off from 40 metres on Thursday night. Stevens kicked 2 goals, 3. Hope that's not an average.
What about the King, Kerry? Is it his chance today to make his mark as one of the players of the century, in fact?
Well, it's probably the duel that most people will be looking at, Silvani on Carey, the #1 fullback in the century and who most players regard as the best player in the current era.
299 games today for John Blakey.
Yes, and he may have a major job on Anthony Koutafidis. If Koutafidis doesn't get a tagging role on McKernan and goes with him, and he goes into the middle, it will be Johnny Blakey to go onto him.
All-Australian Peter Bell.
He shouldn't be underestimated, Belly. He amasses possessions with great ease. He gets in and under, he can receive, he can kick goals. And I'm tipping someone will get the job to pay very close attention to him today.
It's his 100th match. He's played 87 consecutive matches tonight. Today, Dennis Pagan, he's spring cleaning, isn't he?
He just wants to have a clear view.
Well, the coach's box in the first 5 minutes must be just the pressure box of all time. Now, the Kangas are out there, as you know, and the Blues are about to come. Christou and Bradley.
And the big news, Bruce, is that Ange Christou is going to start on the ground. He was named on the interchange bench, but along with Massey, they are going to start them on the ground. Have a look.
Play angry, look at that. Play angry, Jared.
Maintain the rage. It's been their theme for a couple of weeks now, and if they can just equalise the Kangaroos in their attack on the footy, they may have the big guns to go all the way.
And Jared, we talk about emotion within the Kangaroos camp. I think this is an emotion-charged outfit as well. There's been a lot of speculation about the health of the senior coach, David Parkin, and these boys are ready now to do it for him.
Club won their first premiership in 1906. David Parkin, their coach, has coached in 5 grand finals for 4 wins. One at Hawthorn. Now Hamill, the great escape we talked about, Jason, before you joined us today. He makes a huge difference coming back in.
He does. One of the great things about Aaron Hamill is he's difficult to match up on. He takes a good pack mark. He's very strong in the air, but he can also play at ground level, and he's quick on the lead. So, you know, again, they could try and use a decoy to draw Martin out of the key post and maybe then get a match-up that they prefer with Aaron Hamill up forward. 33 goals this year. That is an important stat for the Blues. And he's come good at the right time, Bruce, in the finals.
What about Adrian Hickmott? Could he possibly be fully fit, Jared?
Well, he could be, Bruce, depending on the extent of the initial injury, but he is going to start on the interchange bench, and I think having a look at the interchange bench, it tells us something. Both Hogg and Franchina, the two negative players that Carlton have got in their lineup, are going to start there. I think David Parkin is saying, go in, let's take the big hit early, let's get off to a fly.
Matthew Allen, so important today in the ruck.
He is. He's the All-Australian ruckman. He's done it all year on his own. Quite often battling two opposition ruckmen. He'll do it again today. He'll take on Matthew Capuano, Corey McKernan at times, and maybe even John Longmire.
And for Fraser Brown, his last quarter, you'd love to bottle it last week, Jared. It was just sensational.
Yeah, no doubt he'll get a match-up. It'll be Simpson or Stevens perhaps, or maybe a rotation of both. But he's got a big part to play in this afternoon's outcome, without a shadow of a doubt.
As we prepare for another chapter in sporting history, our thoughts with all Australians on peacekeeping duty in East Timor. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the national anthem to be performed by Human Nature.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and well-fought toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
That rousing moment that we can't wait for every year. The two teams standing and saluting prior to the grand final. Now, Konji Asumi is a very lucky man today. He won the coin toss, and here he is, and he's about to toss the coin with the two captains.
Wayne, first tossing, Wayne.
Good luck, Wayne.
Wayne, Con's going to toss for us today.
Good luck.
Just show Wayne what it's called. That's heads, and the other side is tails.
Tails?
Yep. Wayne, your call.
Okay.
Tails. Tail it is.
Okay, Wayne's on the way. Thank you.
So Carey wins the toss and will kick to the left of screen. So once again the moment has arrived for the first bounce of a grand final. Allen got his hand on it. Capuano went a bit early. Allen got a second touch, couldn't get a kick away. Little give going forward was by King. Allison went without it. McKay put a man down and I think gave a free kick away at Simpson at centre wing.
Manton started at full forward for the Blues, but he'd been picked up surprisingly by John Blakey.
So Blakey on Manton. Simpson's kick towards half for Carey's got it. Has he? No. All over him, Silvani, well done. Ratton gets a booming kick away. Manton's held on to. No free kick. Blakey might have been lucky. Yes, he's got it. Manton with a free kick. Blakey was all over him. He's in the heart of the centre square. Kicked the first goal in the prelim final. Wants to give it off. Maybe forced to go long. Sits it up. Whitnell's the target. He's pushed it very wide. Bad bounce for Whitnell. Sexton getting involved. Handball back's okay. Murphy can thump it. Leads back. Goes towards the goal square. Pickett's getting back there. Pickett, yes. Pickett, yes. Pickett, no. Handball, play on. And Steve-O gets an early kick.
Comes wide to the half-back flank. The race is on now. If it sits nicely, they could be in business, Hamill, but here comes Mickey Martin. Charging at him was Bradley, and he gets him. Back again to Harvey. The Kangaroos go surging down towards Silvani and Carey, and it's Silvani who reigns supreme. Great start by the fullback of the century. Silvani short to Murphy. When they last met, Carlton got away to a flying start. The Kangaroos pegged them back and beat them. Pickett tries to storm through. Bradley wants the free kick. Doesn't get it. Brown at the bottom of the pack. And we've got a bounce. Umpires today are Andrew Coates, Brett Allen and Scott McLaren. The latter two making their debut in a grand final. We wish them well.
Harvey and Camporeale running pretty tightly together.
Allen again with Capuano. Brown had it with one hand. Stevens down there as well. It's locked up.
In fact, just a quick change. It's Ben Nelson now going with Harvey, and well, he's had a pretty good start to the game.
So the bounce of the ball just forward of the setter, favouring the Blues. Good bounce too. Matthew Allen's had his hands on the football a couple of times already. Attempted hack out of there, and the Blues in and under, not allowing any Kangaroo to get a clear possession so far. Very important that every kick early in the game is well earned. And just a couple of boys there, Martin Pike and Brett Ratton, having a bit of a to-do as they get to their feet. But some negative in and under work being done by both sides. Preparedness now to put enormous physical pressure on their opponents by both sides. Ratton again, but he's tackled or harassed and taken to the ground. Shannon Grant, one of the Kangaroos players, and for the third time it will be bounced in much the same area of the ground.
Sun breaking through here. Packed house. 95,000 people. Capuano and Allen. Bell, Ratton onto him. Bell's handball not great. He put King under pressure, but he did very well, King. Only as far as Camporeale takes a clever mark at centre wing.
Key player.
Looks for Hamill. That's the way he's going. King gets back courageously. Terrific stuff. Martin under the pump. King again. Belts it forward. Murphy getting his hands on it early. He's a good kick normally. Well done, David King, who's had a wonderful couple of minutes here. And it'll be a boundary throw in at half forward right.
That's a brilliant passage of play from David King. First and foremost, the kick to Hamill looked to be a good one, but he backed in. He knew he was going to get cleaned up. He kept his eye on the ball. He attacked it. And then to follow up with the smother was fantastic.
There it is in replay. The courage initially of King. We never doubt that. Harvey's got a free kick for a shove, and he's going to take it on centre wing. No scorers yet to either side. Harvey to King. He's on centre wing, and Bradley may have given away a free kick down the ground. The advantage is going to be paid to Simpson. The door opening now for the Kangaroos. In towards Carey and Silvani and co. Dean Rice lurking there at the back, but he was unable to take it cleanly. Show on all fours. Back to Carey. Carey round the body. It's high. Bouncing in towards full forward. Off the chest it comes. And the first score of the day is a behind to the Kangaroos.
It's been a great opening few minutes, but one of the most pleasing things is we've got all the matchups that we were hoping for. No surprises pulled by the coaches. They're letting their good players go head to head.
Gee, a tight 5 minutes. Just the one behind on the board. Martin uses the body. It's not good enough. A pumped up Aaron Hamill has got it on centre wing. Whitnell screaming for it down on right half forward, but he elects to go inboard, and that's clever. Camporeale's got plenty of room. He steadies. The pass has got to be good for Lappin. It's out in front of him now. Pickett is a terrier. It's over the line. We've got to throw in. Carlton attacking in their left forward pocket, down by behind.
Those passes that come in from players like Camporeale have got to have just a little bit more precision on them. That was a real chance for the Blues. Lappin had a couple of metres start on Pickett, and the kick missed its target. The boundary throw in. Whitnell doing the ruck work. Lappin tries to get it out. Ooh. Now a chance for Brown. Left foot snap by Brown. Bounces through for a behind. So a rush behind to the Kangaroos. A shot at goal with the left foot by Fraser Brown has levelled the scores. Just a point apiece. And we're 5.5 minutes into the grand final of 1999.
And now that it has settled down, there's been a couple of rotations. Shannon Grant is being picked up by Nelson. McKay's picking up Abraham. Stevens running with Camporeale, and Simpson. A big job on Murphy.
King to himself, and then a dangerous kick. Doesn't quite get it outside 50. Ratton's with a real charge. Lines him up, goes for it, and he's going to kick the first goal. Brett Ratton. Well, David King will be disappointed. The little one to himself, and then the kick lacked the penetration. It was a 50-50 ball, and the Blues have won it.
What a great start for Carlton. And Brett Ratton, he's kicked a few important goals in the last few weeks. He just got himself in a bit of a hole, David King. He had nowhere to go. The long kick didn't appear to be on, so he tried to chip it to Stevens. He had a 2-on-1 contest against Carlton, and when it broke free, off almost one step, Brett Ratton finished beautifully. And look at the excitement. They are pumped, the Blues.
Brett Ratton is an experienced finals campaigner. 14 finals, and he's got the first goal of the day. Carlton leading by one straight kick. And an infringement within the square. It's going the way of Carlton again.
Yeah, it looked like Winston Abraham actually way too early into the centre square.
Thank you, Aussie. So it'll be Allen to take the free kick from the middle. Away, he gives it to Bradley. They've made a positive start. Whitnell at the back, couldn't take it. Martin hopes to tie it out, but misses. Here's Lappin for the Navy Blues.
Free kick.
But it's going to come back amidst all the excitement of the blue and white going up as one. Back it comes. And umpire Brett Allen, the 33-year-old Gardner, officiating in his first grand final, takes charge. Archer ambles out of the back line. Almost comes to a halt. And again, he's put his teammates under pressure because they're going to be beaten by numbers. Christou to left half forward. Pickett, the flyer from behind, waiting down, and there's going to be a free kick picked up. Going the way of Carlton. Murphy wanted to go on with it. It's going to come back to Aaron Hamill.
I'll tell you what, Camporelli is really working Stevens about. He's running deep in the forward line, trying to really push him on that bad ankle of his.
Let's test it out in the first 10 minutes. This is Hamill.
The Blues are playing much more fluent football. Dangerous times here for the Kangaroos.
Spearing a pass beautifully onto the chest of Simon Beaumont.
He was a wild card, Sandy, wasn't he, in our preview?
Yep.
And a pretty good wild card. I mean, a lot of people would have seen his performance in half a game against the Magpies earlier in this season.
Been very good, Beaumont, all year. Hasn't missed a game, and he's got a chance to kick his first in this grand final, but he goes across the face. Lappin was one of the flyers, as he loves to do. And we've added one behind to the Carlton scoreline. 1-2.
Sandy, we've normally got a very swirly wind down here at the MCG. Today, just perfect conditions and just a very light breeze.
Short kick in has been marked by Blakey. Still well entrenched into his defensive 50.
Yeah, Johnny Blake will be pushing it down to McKernan, who has come from full forward to give a tall marking target.
Blues a chance here. Rice collected the hand pass, delivered beautifully to Brown. Outside 50. Camporelli making position further in towards the left forward pocket. Ignored Brown. A wry smile on the face of the tough midfielder for the Blues, Fraser Brown. He'll kick from outside 50. He lobs it to the front of the square. A marking contest. Where's Lappin? He was at the base of the pack. Now he's tackling Pickett. Try to force it alive. Pickett tackled again. Still Pickett. And didn't he show magnificent composure? Gives Anthony Stevens his first real touch of the footy. Gets the ball down to centre wing, and Silvani to play the percentages and push it away from Carey over for a boundary throw-in.
Well, Silvani is as good a one-on-one body player as this game has ever seen. And for Wayne Carey to dominate, he's got to be able to find some space and not get trapped in with the mauler.
Ruck's a bit caught out here. Shannon Grant, little kick towards centre wing. Rice attacking hard. Silvani, good start for him. Kudafides delivers to half forward. Lappin, Pickett started pretty well. Ratton to Lappin, good handball skills to Hamill. Hamill's kick is a good one to Manton or Whitnell. Manton's at the back, well played Blakey. Whitnell put it on the ground, should have been Ping holding the ball, wasn't. That was stiff, the Kangaroos. Up and over it is Pike and Whitnell. It'll be a ball up. Looked holding the ball.
The Kangaroos just can't continue to rely on their full back line. They are under the pump at the moment, and the dike will break unless they get some sort of relief from the midfield of the Kangaroos getting some possession.
King held up. Allen and Brown. Little squeezy one by Archer, almost to centre wing. Harvey with a bit of pace, back to Stevens. Stevens still getting plenty of kicks despite the ankle to Grant. Grant now on the burst. He wants McKernan at centre half forward. The ball comes on the back. Mooney versus Sexton. Sexton has to make it sit for him. He works at Kudafides with a hip and shoulder was good. Sexton's away for the Blues to Murphy out wide. Ball bounces in. Boundary throw in.
Matthew Hogg playing his final game for Carlton, awaiting his chance on the sidelines. An excellent start by Carlton.
Free kick against the Blues there.
Good decision, just pushing in the ruck instead of going for the ball.
Scholl to take it. Going to half forward. Silvani, an effective spoil out the back. Sexton gets a hurried kick. Lumbering towards it. Initially, Capuano needs support. Eventually finds Pickett, but he's under the pump. He goes back to Capuano. Can they get out of this one? Another one to Pickett. He's had an excellent start to the game, Pickett. He bounced his way up towards half forward, puts them inside 50, down towards Carey.
This is going to be one of the best contests you'll ever see in a grand final, Silvani on Carey. Silvani started very well. He called it long. He wanted the long kick. He put the hand up because the sun came out. Then he just held Silvani in front of him. He timed the push off to perfection and took what looked to be a relatively comfortable mark in the end, but I can guarantee you that's no easy feat, that mark there by Wayne Carey.
Carey, 207 games. Silvani, 272. Carey, 74 goals so far this season, directly in front. 25 metres out, and the Kangaroos are on the board. Carey has the first.
Well, this is just promising to be everything we hoped for this match. We were worried for a large part of the week about the Carlton forward line, but they've put the Kangaroos' defence under tremendous pressure. They've struggled a little bit up forward early, the Kangaroos, but this time a one-on-one out to Carey and Silvani. The long kick from Byron Pickett, who's had a sensational first 10 or 12 minutes, and that's just superior strength, beautiful judgment, and the goal that the Kangaroos needed to get started.
Well, just before we went to the break, Mooney has gone to the bench to be replaced by Welsh. So already Dennis Pagan not happy with that forward line setup. Nelson gang tackled by the Kangaroos, and the ball be bounced once again.
And I think it's an important move, Robbo, because if you have a look at the three individual matchups, McKernan and Cooter, Carey and Silvani, Sexton and Mooney, they need to take the ball overhead and take marks, because at ground level, each of the Carlton players are more mobile.
The bounce, very well gathered by Brown, kicks across his left shoulder. Opportunity here for Abraham. He's swamped by McKay. Absolutely. McKay looking for the free kick. Look at the Carlton forwards. They're working extremely hard. Bradley beaten on this occasion. Ball flipped out the back. Abraham, good vision. Kick forward by Simpson to within 45 metres. That's a free kick. No, the umpires let play go on. Christou, Grant, still Shannon Grant. Magnificent goal by Grant for the Kangaroos.
This is just hot, this opening quarter. That is a brilliant piece of play by Shannon Grant. It looked like there might have been a free kick given by Corey McKernan, but I think in the end he was worried about jumping into the back of Wayne Carey, and he half pulled out of the leap when it spilled free. As we see, no one really affected by that. A good tackle first by Shannon Grant. He kept his balance. He rode the half tackle from Ange Christou, and gee, threaded the needle with the kick.
No substitute for skill, but a couple of unsung heroes in that passage of play on half-back. I think Mick Martin and Brent Harvey did particularly well when they were outnumbered.
Harvey outstanding, 3 against him, weren't there? Grant, brilliant goal. He's played in 2 grand finals, yet to play in a premiership. He's had a splendid start with that kick. So the Kangaroos in front. Allen gets over Capuano, Ratton to Brown. Free kick coming back to Ratton in the centre. 2-1 to 1-2.
Camporelli by himself.
He's really working Stevens over.
It's got him, thanks Dipper. Camporelli between centre wing and half forward. So the Blues have had most of it, trailed by 5 points. Good signs for the Kangas. Goes short to the pocket for Lappin, got him. He was in the St Kilda team a couple of years ago when the Crows ran over the top of them. He'll kick from just outside 50. They kicked some remarkable goals last week at this end in the final term. This would take a very big kick. He's given it all he's got. It won't be a goal. Front of the square job. Hamill went early, and belting it through for the Kangaroos was Capuano. So it's a behind of the Blues. They're 1-3, and North are 2-1.
John Longmire awaits his opportunity. It's been a long wait. This is his 200th game. Missing out in 96 and 98. We welcome him to a grand final.
And they'd be a little bit nervous here. The 2 goals that Carlton have kicked have come from returns from the point post kickouts.
Abraham was a target. At the back is Bell. Gives a little ground. They get clear. Pickett onto the left foot.
Kick.
Magnificent for Shannon Grant. If it sits, he's away. Rice gives chase. Grant's got to be quick. He is. Beautiful kick again. And he finds Stoll on the 50. The Kangaroos set them down.
Well, if that was meant to hit Craig Scholl, that pass, it's one of the best I've ever seen, because he was being tackled. He had to kick it across his body at the time. I don't know if it was fortuitous or not, but certainly has created a chance for Craig Scholl.
He's got the benefit of the doubt, Jason.
Jeez, he's a fair roost.
That's more than a fair roost. That is a wonderful goal. Craig Scholl gets his first. The Kangaroos, after watching Carlton boot the first, have kicked the last 3.
But already it looks like Nelson's coming off and Franchina coming on. They're worried about the forward setup of the Kangaroos. And hasn't Shannon Grant had an influence so far? He just kicked an incredible goal. Now he's set one up with a great piece of play. And that is a magnificent kick from Craig Scholl.
Well, that's Nelson warming the bench. His place on the field has been taken by Franchina. The Blues getting a fair bit of those centre bounce clearances. Pike did well to stand his ground there and hold up the rampaging Blues from the midfield, and the umpire will bounce just forward of the centre circle, favouring Carlton.
Yeah, they're not getting a lot of flow directly from the centre of the Kangaroos, most of it coming off half back, but Shannon Grant has chopped them up so much that Franchina is now his new opponent.
Murphy's kick slews off the side of his boot. Manton does well to get his hands on it and then lock it up for the Blues just inside their forward 50.
And to try and break that up, Jared, Shannon Grant's picking up Scott Camporelli, but now Franchina's run forward to the square and he's all on his own, but David King's getting back as we speak.
Bounce of the ball about 45 metres from the Carlton goal. They kicked the first goal, so the Kangaroos have kicked the last 3. Ratton tries to get it to Camporelli. A little kick by Camporelli, nearly taken by Franchina. Whitnall, hand pass, blocked by Pickett. Well done, Archer, to get in there and give him a bit of a hand. The awkward bouncing ball lands with Murphy, goes back to and finds Manton. Manton wider still. Murphy hemmed in as he got some space. He squeezes a high kick. It'll land close to the square. Lappin! Lappin, has he been paid? No, he hasn't. The man in front stood his ground manfully. It was Matthew Capuano, and he's been paid the mark.
Probably got first touch.
Not a bad lead for a little bloke trying to take a hanger over a ruckman. Probably better to punch it forward into the hot spot.
Remember round 1, Jason, when we were here when he took Mark of the year to the central.
How good's Pickett's defence?
Oh, he just has a knack of getting his hand late into a contest to score what looks like a great set-up move.
Steve O's playing a big first quarter. Koutafidis gave it to Mackay. Good stuff to Bradley. Bradley now steadies and goes bang with a high one. Whitnall's the target at the back, but in the front. Good mark again, Capuano. He's been important early, and they're away through Blakey, building it, but not good to Bradley. So the 2 oldest men on the field, one kicks to the other. Bradley's got a couple of loosies, but they're very wide, and he may want to go down the centre. 35 years of age, turns 36 next month. Delivers, but doesn't deliver particularly well, and Capuano takes his 3rd mark in about a minute at centre half back.
Been very good. One of the key players coming into this game, bearing in mind what he was up against, and that includes Matty Allen, the former ruckman in the competition. The Kangaroos through Blakey, out of trouble, combining with Martin. Back towards the middle. Mackay couldn't pick it up initially. Now Scholl's got him, and he asks the question. No, says the umpire. Just in the Kangaroos' attacking zone.
Yeah, Matty Allen now has moved forward, boys, and obviously Capuano's sticking with him.
Grant, Carey and Scholl, the goal kickers for the Kangaroos. Ratton has Carlton's only one. Here's Simpson, been a very good player all season, spiralling a puck down towards the forward line. Christou forced to defend on Welch, and he does it pretty well.
Christou started on Scholl, but Sexton's now gone to Scholl, and Christou, as we just saw, has moved on to the more mobile Welch.
Thrown in the right forward pocket for the Kangaroos. McKernan plucks it out of the air, tries to get a kick away. It's partly smothered. Harvey taken on by Bradley. They go again, off the boot of Welch it comes. Welch goes again. Welch touched on the line by this magnificent defender in Stephen Silvani.
He just got it lost between his feet, Ange Christou. He would have been horrified when it rolled clear of his feet. He's thinking this could result in an easy goal to the Kangaroos, but Sauce was there to save the day.
11 points the margin. And they're looking at it once again from the Goodyear blimp. Great desperation by Silvani. His captain brings it back into play.
So Craig Bradley to direct traffic from the behind. It goes straight down the ground. Ratner's gathered it. Nearly tackled. Well tackled by Harvey from behind. McKernan kicks the ball directly towards goal. Getting back is Bradley, and he marks right on the goal line. Quickly hand passes it on. Missed his targeting Christou. Over the top to Silvani. They've combined pretty well, the Blues, from the full back line. Murphy, who kicks the ball beautifully normally, out in the direction of Lappin. Pickett, still Pickett. Brown helping out as Capuano off the edge, smothered off the boot, forces a boundary throw in, just forward of centre wing, favouring the Blues.
He is just brilliant, Byron Pickett. I mean, he just went up with the left hand, but then he recovers his balance very quickly and he's first to get to the loose ball.
There's been a lot of good players early in the match, but none more important than him.
You haven't seen a better handball in the game until you saw that one from Ratton. It was a beauty. And the mark has been taken by Manton. Manton looking to move on. Gives the hand pass back. This is Camporelli. Camporelli in towards half forward. Not a bad pass, but desperate play. Tremendous football by Welsh. He knew the player was coming from the opposite side, but he stood his ground and marked at centre half back. High flyer out there, McKay. Ball spills to the back. Koutafidis dispossessed. Franchina. Bradley falls over. Back to Franchina. Franchina with the left. The mark. Yes, it's been paid to Simpson.
It's all happening for the Kangaroos. Simpson's kick, though, that's cut off by Koutafidis. Carlton half-back line standing up pretty well. Koutafidis kicks a beauty to Allen. They can stroll on now. This is the important kick. Can he find Whitnell? Oh, he didn't take the mark. Pressure coming from Archer. Martin's handball to Pike. Pike goes for the line and finds it.
Well, he's not going to get many better chances than that to get into the game early. Lance Whitnell mightn't have spun perfectly as a drop punt, but the kick from Matthew Allen was a pretty good one. And even though Archer was applying pressure from behind, he should have taken the chest mark and lined up from about 40 metres out.
Blues need a goal here. Ratton doing very well to Brown. Brown can't quite break through. Pickett puts the pressure on him. Hamill under the gun, drops it, gets rid of it in the end. Back to Ratton. Ratton doesn't have time to look out, belts it forward. Whitnell's timed it badly. Beaumont's a left footer. Can Pike get to him? Can Beaumont get to the footy? It spills out. Kangaroos, Blakey did pretty well. Wants the line. Franchina going hard. Steve-O going well. What a player he is, Stevens. What a footballer he is. He belts it forward. It's all Blues though. And McKay getting back with some time. Back to Silvani. He stretches Silvani. Silvani's handball. Christou and McKay. McKay doing well. Just shrugs off an opponent. Belts it to half forward. Whitnell can't quite. Clever attempt there, not paid. Comes back to Camporelli. Hooks it back to the goal square. Manton didn't take the mark. Used his body. Hamill. They're hanging on to him. Hamill can't get rid of it. Archer, gang tackle. Good footy. What a passage of play.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, there's been a few questions asked of the Kangaroos defence early, but they've stood up. They have answered the challenge beautifully. This is just incredible football at the moment. The pressure that's out there is unbelievable.
It just went up about 10 degrees in the last 60 seconds. Fantastic stuff. Here's Blakey. Hurriedly, Capuano's got to beat a couple, including Allen. Who does it nicely. Gives it away to David King. The dashing David King. This is his trademark. Away he goes. Through half back.
Was on.
In towards half forward. Now he's going to require something from Carey or Motlop. Carey is there. Silvani over the top. And there will be a free kick down the line.
I'm not quite sure who the Kangaroos player was, but David King, all he had to do was chip the handball over the top and they were away.
McKay gave it to Rice but put him under the pump. Now Bradley's got to take
good
it.
Mark.
And he does.
Very important that he took that.
In front of Harvey with just over a minute remaining in this first quarter.
The umpires have been a bit harsh on the Kangaroos. There's been a number of tackles, in particular one from Ballon Ratton, where he took the chance, he had prior opportunity and didn't dispose of it correctly, but they haven't been getting the free kicks.
Bradley going across the centre, straight down the ground towards Hamill. At the back is Grant. Tidies up with a hand pass to Capuano. There's been a whistle. The advantage is going to be paid. So play goes on to the outer side. Motlop's got to beat a couple as Christou intercepts. Stolen by Scholl. And away he goes. Can they score before the siren? Carey!
McKernan's one out.
I think he'll go back and have a shot. You can just see him. He had the run. Silvani couldn't get there in time. He was a little bit shielded by the contest, and the lunging arm from Koutafidis couldn't make contact with it. And haven't we seen him take a heap of those? And he's going to kick from about 53 out. If there's any breeze assistance, it's probably behind him. So you would think that he's probably going to make the distance from here.
Came into this game with 50 goals to his name in finals. Oh. He's already got one.
She had a great lead from Brent Harvey that he knocked back, so he must be confident about the distance.
Kicking from 55 metres. Just floating it across the face and it's smashed through from behind. And that will be the last score of the quarter.
I think one of the most important midfield moves has been Shannon Grant onto Scott Camporelli. Camporelli dominant early in this match, but he's been quietened down by Grant. Grant's had so much effect himself.
And it's also allowed Anthony Stevens to get into the game as well.
Just a couple of seconds left. Bradley doesn't want a McKernan mark at this stage. He doesn't get it. It's quarter time. A fierce, fast and ferocious opening, just what you'd expect on grand final day here at the MCG.
Yes, a big start. Carey and Silvani, key match-up early.
It has. I mean, Silvani probably dominated the first 10 minutes, but Carey exerting his influence in the latter part of that quarter.
Well, David Parkin talked about the stress of grand final weekend on the day, and you can see it there on his face. At quarter time, it's the Kangaroos. They're 3-3-21 to Carlton 1-3-9.
The game is just in the balance now. It could be blown out in the next 15 minutes if Carlton don't get back into it.
Start of the second term here, Capuano got over Allen. Brown trapped it very cleverly. Handball was a beauty. Out wide to Murphy. Murphy's long bomb to fall forward. Whitnall was at the back, was waiting. Manton chases hard. Ball still to be won. Manton, can he get it down to Bradley? Bradley going the wrong way. Handball okay to Allen. Allen's got two men loose. Decides to go long. Beaumont's at the back and Brown's marked it. They had the numbers. Archer says there should have been a free kick for shepherding, but the Blues had both Brown and Beaumont lurking, and Brown took the mark.
Gee, you wonder how so many Carlton players got free. They had a 4-on-1 contest at the end. You can see them, and there's a couple to the right of screen that you just miss in the picture there, but they were everywhere, the Blues running forward.
So Brown, who kicked 2 goals last week, including that very famous one in the last quarter, has kicked only 4 goals this season. He's kicked another one. He's kicked another one. Well, that is the start the Blues wanted.
He's a very important player for the Blues, Fraser Brown. Both he and Brett Ratton, as well as we know how good they are in the centre square and at picking up possessions, but they've both been goal kickers in recent weeks, and they certainly need them to do it again. Fraser Brown hasn't let them down. Matty Allen, a good kick forward. He knew they had the numbers. He had to drive it long. You can see that Matthew Lappin and also Simon Beaumont over the back were both loose.
Great start for Carlton. They could have raffled that ball. It was delivered by Matthew Allen. Probably 4 of them down there unchecked. Pagan would not be happy.
And he started the play, Fraser Brown, too, by getting the handball out of the centre bounce.
Let's see what happens this time. Allen floats over the top. Stevens kick. Forced away to the left. Fine mark by Simpson. Adam Simpson from centre wing. The Kangaroos looking for a reply. Big pack of players with Scholl in the middle. Shannon Grant waiting down in front. Had a good first start. Sensational stunner. That was McKay, I think. Murphy now.
Dean Rice.
Fantastic work by Dean Rice. Thanks, Jason. Back towards centre wing, and Pike takes the mark. Well, we've seen a couple of absolute gems so far.
Not only a smother, he nearly marked it off the boot.
Kick up towards half forward. Scholl again in front. Gee, Kangaroos could consider themselves a little unlucky as far as some free kicks are concerned. The Simpson one has been marked by Sexton. And have a look at this again from Dean Rice.
Oh, that's
just
brilliant.
sensational.
There's a chance for the Blues here, Camporelli.
Bradley. Scott Camporelli's on centre wing. Ambles towards that position. Kicks to half forward over the head of Manton. He needs support. Beaumont ripped over the boundary line. Blakey got a hand to it, but then got to go again. Good smother. And we'll have a throw-in.
I'll tell you what, I think the sun's playing a little bit of a part out there now too. That kick that came in, a few of them turned around, they weren't quite sure where it was. They may be, well, a few of them might have difficulty when that's, the ball comes in from that particular angle.
Good work by Archer. Throw in again. Straight down the front to Stevens. Hurriedly gets boot to ball. And that's okay. The mark is taken by Peter Bell.
Bell gets the hand pass away. King has slipped little hand pass to Simpson. He slips as he went to kick the ball. Rice held by the jumper. And the umpire right on the scene has awarded the free kick to Dean Rice. He's wide of centre half back. Not quite up to the centre. He goes very wide. Looks for and finds Hamill. Did he take the mark? He's up. Into his back was Simpson. Ball went free. Brown. Now the umpire's found a free kick. And it looks as if it'll go back to Hamill between wing and right half forward.
Let's have a look at this one. Big push there from Cooter on Corey McKernan. Umpire right beside it. Had to be played.
Hamill has the ball. The Kangaroos lead by a goal. They've kicked 3-3. Carlton have kicked 2-3. early part of the second quarter. Hamill's kick, he looked for Allen, ball spilt. McKay didn't even attempt to kick the ball, should have been penalised. Gee was lucky there, Andrew McKay, because he fell on top of the football, and the umpire will bounce it centre-half forward for the Blues, and Richard Osborne has the bench for the Blues.
Yes, right. Chris Massey, Adrian Hickmott, who's about to come on, Ben Nelson and Matthew Hogg.
Ratton gets it, another possession, kicks the ball forward, Pike with pace.
Great play. Peter Bell's been moved off Ratton, who is dominating. He's now trying to take Bradley out of the play.
Pike to half-back, gets good distance. Oh, Bradley went very early, but Welsh has got it. A little high one on the boots, effective to Simpson, has had plenty of it. They're away to Stevens. Stevens kicks to centre-half forward. Silvani should mark it. He's got it. It's a poor kick by Steve-O coming in. Goes back to Bradley, getting plenty of it. To Ratton. Finds him, good mark. Blues having a very good patch here. Low kick to Lappin. Half volley was good. To Sexton. Can kick a goal. He's 50 out. Lines them up. Wobbling the wrong way. Behind. Terrific build-up by the Blues. They're starting to look ominous. 21 plays 16. Who's on the bench for the Kangaroos, Dipper?
We have Mooney, Clayton, Allison and John Longmire.
Adrian Hickmott warming up on the sidelines. Started the day with that leg heavily strapped. Of course, he's had hamstring problems, so the strapping has been removed.
Fraser Brown in trouble, boys. Just keep an eye on him.
Okay, well, Hickmott's still warming up. We could be seeing him soon. We'll keep an eye on Fraser Brown.
Oh,
Pick it straight to Camporelli.
Brown coming on.
His good fortune.
You could see from the position we're in, you could see what Byron Pickett was trying to do. He was looking for Winston Abraham as we see Fraser Brown come off, and that'll be a blow for the Blues. But basically, he's tried to drill a 45-metre pass head high off one step, and he just can't do that.
Double change, Manton off as well. Hickmott has a run, and so too does Matthew Hogg. How costly is that kick out going to prove? We'll find out right now. Camporelli from 50 metres. Lovely looking kick. Costly one, wasn't it? From Pickett.
Well, at the highest level, you get punished for your mistakes, and that's what happens. Both teams have had a little bit of trouble with their kick-outs to date. The zone working very well, particularly on this instance for the Blues. And he was looking for a long, penetrating kick to Winston Abraham, who will come in from the left, but he just didn't get enough purchase on the ball. Marked 45 out directly in front, and Scott Camporelli punishes him for the error.
A little bit going on between Matthew Hogg and Brent Harvey. Gee, the Blues midfielders, Ratton 6 and 5, Camporelli 8, Murphy 8 and 1.
Some bad body language signs here for the Kangaroos. There's a number of them with their heads down in defence.
Matthew Allen dominating, the centre bounces. The ball spills. Chance for Hickmott. Knocks it forward. McKay to Murphy. Murphy with his 9th kick. Goes towards the goal square and misses. As a matter of fact, just sneaks it through for a behind.
Robbo, Fraser Brown has left the ground. He's going up the race now. Looks like his AC joint. They're going to tape his shoulder up and get him back on the ground as soon as possible.
Well, it looked as though he got off the ground quite nicely by running off. So obviously, Dipper, you could be spot on there. The kick in has been taken by Shannon Grant. Still the Blues a chance. Their forwards working overtime. Camporelli dispossessed. Bell, now Simpson, squeezes the kick in the direction of Carey. Couldn't take the mark. Silvani tries to get the hand pass away. McKernan struggling to get into the game. Koutafidis looks for Silvani. A lovely little hand pass, if you'd want to call it that. Franchina into the pocket and making his ground and being awarded the mark was Hamill. He's too far out to score, you would think. The player on the mark is about 60 metres from goal. Stevens still looks as though he's favouring that ankle injury. Short kick, Ratton covering some territory. Fantastic midfield leader, Brett Ratton. The heart and soul of Carlton, Brett Ratton. And he's going to shoot for goal from about 40 metres. It'll have to be a fantastic kick. He's right against the boundary line. Bathed in sunshine now, the Melbourne cricket ground. He bombs away to the square. It's still alive, Lappin! Matthew Lappin's kicked the goal for the Blues.
It's on.
It's on.
It is on in the goal square. plenty going on after that goal was kicked, but I'll tell you what, we saw the Kangaroos' defence under siege in the first quarter. They stood up tall. Well, they don't have the answers at the moment. 3 goals to the Blues this quarter, and the punch needed to go through. It didn't. It came back into play. Matthew Lappin, as a good small man should do, roving the front of the pack, kicking a real opportunist goal, and what we didn't see was a bit of a scuffle going on afterwards. Half a dozen of them just venting their anger.
4-5 to 3-3. Allen getting on top. They're winning the centre square. Harvey's little kick to half forward. They need a goal here. McKernan, he must impose himself on the match. Scholl goes. McKernan loads it up and gives it a run. No. Kicks the goal. You're joking. That's imposing yourself. That's the answer. Well, what a major play from one of the big players on the game.
I'll tell you what, Cooter's done a pretty good job on him to date, but it was a fortunate kick that just dropped short. He took the chest mark. I thought he was too far out. And Jared, you don't see too many kick like that, do you?
No, this is an adrenaline-boosted goal, Jason, without any question. But the important aspect was that the Kangaroos, for one of the few times in this match, won a ball from the middle of the ground. Allen won the tap, but it was the Kangaroos who took it forward.
Thumping kick, going all the way.
Shane Clayton coming on for the first time. Harvey's gone off the Kangaroos, and Steve-O's in a bit of trouble. The Gottlers was with him the last 2 or 3 minutes. Keep an eye on Steve-O. It's not his ankle, it's his elbow, left elbow.
What a way to stop the run. Thumping goal by Corey McKernan. Bell out of the centre for the Kangaroos, but standing his ground is Dean Rice. So far has given us one of the smothers of the day. He goes to the outer side and Andy McKay. McKay is clear and he's got Bradley, but beautiful interception by David King. All the way. Here goes King. All the way they say. He bounces his way through the centre. He goes all the way. He's beaten Murphy. 60 metres out. He's tired when he takes the kick. It wobbles towards Carey. Smashed towards Rice. He couldn't take it. Christie tries to sucker off the ground. Ange goes again. Pokes it wide. Franchina leads in the race. Allison on his hammer. Taken towards the line. Kept in by Carey. An excellent chance for the Roos. Simpson goes with a high kick in towards goal. Oh, they need it back. And McKernan has done it again.
What a goal.
Steve-O in trouble, boys. He's calling for the doctors. He's coming off.
Well, there's some irony in all of this. Stevens coming off with an elbow injury. What a mark, McKernan.
No, this is just, well, it was an unbelievable fight. A couple of passages of play. I mean, the run from David King, I think by the time he got to 58, he didn't have the energy to kick the ball 50 metres. It was a bit of a wobbler. In the end, the Silvani handball came out and the high kick into a one-on-one contest. And this is what we want to see. One-on-one. McKernan on Koutafidis.
Check side.
He's got it.
Check side goal.
This has got everything.
What a way to finish it.
In the space of 2 minutes, he's kicked 2 of the most spectacular goals you will ever see.
Well, just before that, Jason, you probably would have been looking for Corey McKernan because he'd only had 2 kicks.
He'd been very
The game
quiet.
was well and truly into the second term.
Well, he stood up last week and it looks like he's doing the same now. He boomed one from about 70 out. This time he took a mark, a great mark, one-on-one. He just used his superior strength on Anthony Koutafidis to push him off. And the finish with the check side was deadly.
So Anthony Stevens, gee, that's a bit of a blow for the Kangaroos. They took a punt on his ankle injury, but he's come off the ground with an arm injury. Ratton in and under. Bell, the tackler for the Kangaroos. The umpire will bounce.
Yeah, Rob, it looks like a torn bicep in his left arm there.
Well, that may see him out of the match for the rest of the day. And this is a real problem. They took a punt by not, I think, selecting Robert Scott. On the bench now, they've got Motlop, Longmire, Stevens, who's injured, and Mooney. There's not a lot of run left for the Kangaroos, and with the Blues so dominant in that area, it could be a telling sign. Motlop is one that could go onto the ball, but he's more of a forward pocket. He's not used to running through the lines in the middle of the ground.
Double change here, but one is the blood rule, I think, with Brett Ratton.
Yeah, just a scratch on his calf.
And Ben Nelson, the other one, on for Beaumont.
Gee, no wonder you need 2 or 3 assistants in the coach's box, Jared, to keep an eye on all these matchups. They just go on and off the ground like as fast as you can move your eyes.
Yeah, there's blokes down there with whiteboards for each and every one of those aspects of it.
So the bounce in the middle, Martin trying to break away.
Yeah, we've got a whiteboard down here as well too, boys.
I know Barry Mitchell for the Blues has the whiteboard for the kickouts, for the zones, looking for the player that's vulnerable, looking for the hole, and right at the moment, they're getting it right, the Blues.
Got to get Ratton back on the ground with a chance to break clear here. Hammond tackled. Good tackle from behind. Bell quickly onto it. That's where he's got to be, picking up the crumbs.
Beautiful
Left foot kick is all right. Allison couldn't take the mark. There for the Blues is Allen. Must give the hand pass away. Does to Murphy. Murphy's given away about 30 metres. This has to be with precision. Oh, well done, Christou and Murphy. The kick goes out wide. Lappin and Pickett.
Yes.
And Pickett from behind has taken the mark.
He had to go short to McKay in that instance.
He's on centre wing. He kicks the ball in towards half forward. The Kangaroos in front. And the mark has been taken at centre half forward by Matthew Capuano.
Nobody's on Abraham. He's by himself.
Capuano in front. He's a big, tall boy. Pretty hard to get around when he had that posse. Matthew Allen a little bit late on the scene. Capuano to kick from 50 metres.
He's got McKernan, 1 out.
The Blues inside their forward 56 times in this term. The Kangaroos 3. McKernan just pulls the kick ever so slightly. Not McKernan, Capuano. Mark has been taken by Welsh in the goal square. Will kick a goal for the Kangaroos. They lead by 4, they could lead by 10.
That is absolutely criminal by the Blues defence not to get a fist on that. I mean, it wasn't a high leap. He basically just reached high and plucked it out of the sky because all the others were body on bodies. He kicks the goal. But they really needed to get a fist on that ball as it came through. In the end, he just took a pretty simple mark in the middle of about 8 players.
I think Peter Bell has had an important 5 minutes. He was nowhere to be seen early in the match, but he's just picked up 4 or 5 possessions in the space of 5 minutes. And he's given the Kangaroos some sort of presence in the middle of the ground. If Stephen's going off, he has to lift. He's just got to find another gear and produce his best footy.
Last couple of goals for the Kangaroos have been turnovers of the Blues. Brown is back. Probably Stevens can't go anymore for the Kangaroos. But McKay's short kick cut off to Bradley, and then Murphy missing his target. And the Kangaroos have kicked the last couple. Abraham's been quiet, but he can be destructive. He kicks to Carey. It's a good kick. There's Brown in the box. Carey launches himself, kicks to the goal square. Scholl's going to mark it on his own. Christou's having an absolute shocker. Got left behind, and Scholl on his own has taken the mark.
First time we've seen any semblance of Pagan's paddock, and that's because...
What are they doing here, the umpires?
They've actually called touched off the boot, boys, so it won't be a mark, a real ball.
Can you believe that? Touched off the boot. Well, Ange is lucky there because Scholl turned him inside out. They are stiff, the Kangaroos. 6-3 to 4-5. Carlton have got to stand up here. We were saying that about the Kangaroos 6 minutes ago. Till McKernan turned it. Carey over the top. Sexton, well done. Murphy. Little handball okay from Koutafidis to Camporelli. Lappin did very well, I felt. Pickett. Allison.
First touch.
To King. Free kick coming back to Allison. Against Rice. Rice has played a tremendous first half.
It's not such a bad free kick, actually. It's just held the play up a little bit. The Blues can compose themselves.
Brown just testing that AC joint. Allison. Nice kick. McKernan the target. Launches he can't. Murphy in the right spot. It'll be a ball up. It's 39 to 29.
And Ellison, who hasn't had anywhere near the amount of possession required, has been replaced by Anthony Stevens. He looks like he's just come out of the trenches. He's just hold on. He's got one leg. Look at this. Here's the goal. Peter Bell wobbles and wobbles and wobbles it through for their fourth from the corner.
Importantly, Sandy, a lot of this has happened. Ratton came off through the blood rule. He's back on the ground, but by gee, they've lost a lot of momentum, the Blues, since he went off the ground, and they've failed to regain it.
And Adam Simpson, a very important tap there, which allowed Harvey to release the handball to Bell. And as Jared mentioned, he's really come into this quarter not having to worry about Brett Ratton. All of a sudden, he's finding a bit of space and getting more of the ball. And he's an important player for the Kangaroos, Peter Bell.
Some boys, Fraser Brown back on. Matty Allen's getting enough of the hands to the ball, but they just need to get it out of the middle. He's getting it down to their man, but they're just getting flogged out of the middle.
Carlton kicked the first 3 in this quarter. The Roos have replied with the next four, and it's Capuano again, proving invaluable. Almost Carey. He's got plenty of support. The veteran Scholl gives it to the runner Harvey. Is this 2 in 30 seconds? Should have been. Should have been. No pressure, but it's away to the left and one behind.
Gee, all of a sudden we saw Carlton have the first 10 or 15 minutes of this quarter. It's all the Kangaroos at the moment. They are relentless in the surges forward.
Still, John Longmire waits.
What about the job that Matthew Capuano's doing?
Enormous. Absolutely enormous.
Murphy's kick to the members' side. The ball spills off the hands of the pack. Will it go out? It does. Just in front of Camporelli, and it'll be thrown in between wing and right half forward, members' side, favouring the Kangaroos. 7-4 to 4-5. Margin is 17 points.
Stevens has gone on to Craig Bradley. He's only on one leg. He's probably had an injection in that elbow.
Blues may get away from this boundary throw-in. Camporelli's left foot kick. Grant to converge on it, and he does well. Hickmott the chaser. That'll test his hamstrings. Grant's kick towards half forward. Carey provides the contest. Ball spills to the front. Welsh. In goes Franchina. McKay there for the Blues. And the umpire will bounce between the centre of the ground and centre half forward, favouring the Kangaroos. They lead 7-4 to 4-5, and there's 8 minutes left in the second term.
You just saw Shannon Grant burst through the pack there, and Anthony Stevens had a chance to put a shepherd on, but it was on the side of his bad elbow, and he didn't do it.
McKernan, ratting red at best, belts it hard and high to half forward. Whitnell, this will be his first kick.
First mark too, Bruce.
Goes onto the pocket. Hamill's the target. They've gone very wide. Needs a good bounce. Can he turn Mickey inside out? He cannot. Martin got back. Lappin's handball was good. Hickmott to go for goal. It's close. You can hear it. Hit. Bang right in the middle. It was a good touch for a bloke who came on a few minutes ago. Beaumont sitting it out with Massey and Nelson. And the Blues needed it, but a good sign for Hickmott, I feel.
And it's a dangerous matchup up forward. Carlton have Aaron Hamill one out with Nick Martin. He's really leading well. If they can get more of the ball down to him and give him the space, all he has to do is get a few good passes, and he's right in this.
16 points the margin. Archer takes the kick out.
Manton's been dragged from attack to defence. He's picking up Craig Scholl.
Lappin lets him go, so he kicks towards centre wing. Scholl sees the pack come over the top, and one of them was this man, Corey McKernan. Starting to show his class. Gives it away quickly to Clayton, who goes to half forward. McKay unable to take it cleanly at the back. Shannon Grant, 2 attempts. He wobbles it. He needs it to spin to the left. Oh, it goes! Sometimes it just happens in a grand final.
At no stage off the boot did that look like it was goal bound. It has taken one of the biggest right to left turns you've ever seen, and then run straight after that. But you make your own luck. I think, Jared, you mentioned earlier, there's a few free kicks that have gone missing when the Kangaroos probably should have had them, or maybe a bit of luck like this. Look at this second bounce. It just goes sideways. Straightened up beautifully.
Seen a number of examples of the front and square drilling of the Kangaroos that's taking effect at the moment.
Some concerns in the coaching box there. David Parkin, Barry Richardson and Wayne Britton. The Kangaroos have kicked 5 goals in 10 minutes. The chance now, the Blues. Bradley receiving from Hamill. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Lappin. He's got to get this and score a goal, Matthew Lappin. That's what he's paid for, and that's what he's gone and done. 2 goals to Lappin. Very important answering goal for the Blues. The Kangaroos had had all the play in the last 10 or so minutes, kicking 5 goals. The Blues get back to within 16 points once again.
And it's a little bit like the third quarter last week, Sandy. The Blues were blown apart by Essendon. They looked as if they were shot, but they just hung on with the odd goal, the odd important goal. And that was one of them.
Huge goal. He's kicked 2, so he's done a little bit, hasn't he? Pickett's been sensational on him, but Lappin's got 2. If he got 4 for the match, you'd be happy. 8-4 to 5-6. Still the Kangaroos in charge, but that'll give the Blues some hope. Capuano should have got a free kick. He did. King stops and props, belts it to half forward. Rice takes a very, very solid mark. He's been good, Rice.
Camporelli
kicks it to Camporelli. He's got a great kick. Camporelli stood his ground. Well played, Camporelli. Such a damaging footballer with a footy. Kicks to Whitnell, and also Archer. Hamill has been busy. Martin forces him to the line. Boundary throw in half forward left.
if they can just get Whitnell to go.
Sorry, Dipper.
Bruce, I'm just saying, if they just give Whitnell to go, March has done a fantastic job there, but he's just been our player at the moment.
Just seeing our peacekeeping troops in Dili who are watching the match through the 7 network. Grant's been terrific.
Clean.
Floats it to centre wing. Mackay pushed forward by Scholl. Stevens. Bradley cut it off. Now with Bradley. It was Hogg that cut it off. Bradley tries to wobble. Hamill probably should have got a free kick. Camperelli, clever kick. Pickett. It's Pickett again. He's taken the mark.
Anthony Stevens is really hurting. He's got to come off.
He's not going to last too much longer, that's for sure. Kangaroos through Clayton and Grant. Look out, down towards Blake. It could be chopped off here. Clayton goes again, could have cut one in the back from Franchino. Play on, they do towards half forward. Big pack of players crunching it. Pickett takes them on, tries to get through. Lappin dragged to the ground. Carlton sensing they've got a real chance here to close the gap.
Had a chance to get rid of it, Glenn Archer, didn't he then?
I thought so, Robbo, but I tell you what, there was a number of players for the Kangaroos who just overused the football, and the Blues look like they're...
Free kick's been paid here to the Kangaroos.
And it's going to Archer. Archer's kick in towards half forward. Oh, waiting down, here's a chance. Going to do it again, Shannon Grant. He's having a fine grand final.
Well, he's having one heck of a grand final. That's his 14th possession, his 3rd goal. And that is just an incredible performance. He rode that beautifully. He hit the pack at top pace. The ball got punched down, and look at that. Right on the money. He had the bounce. He steadied. He knew he didn't have to kick the ball hard or high. He just punched it low. And he is having a huge influence on this match, Shannon Grant.
Anthony Stevens now running around the boundary line. It looks like he's going to go into the room straight away, and we'll keep up with that with him.
Gee, it's a sorry sight, isn't it? Because he did do pretty well. He picked up quite a number of possessions, 9 to be precise. The kick forward for the Kangaroos in the direction of McKernan and Manton, and the ball spills there. You can see Anthony Stevens in the background there, going to the rooms.
And it looks like Koutafidis has been released from McKern, and Manton's doing the job now on him.
But what a comparison between the second quarter this year to the second quarter last year, where last year all the Kangaroos could do was kick minors, kick points. This year they've kicked 6 goals, 1.
22 points the margin. Critical that the Blues hold the Kangaroos up in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this second term. Umpire has decided on a bounce. It's about 30 metres out from the Kangaroos' goal.
Classic case of the Yips, wasn't it? 2 goals, 11 in that second quarter. Their final term was 7 behinds.
25 metres from the Kangaroos' goal. The Blues are going to hold here. Allen just won it. Mackay to Hogg. Hogg gets it outside the 50. Good fly from Whitnell, and G. Archer tried to build it away late, but it might be just coming back off the mark. I think Whitnell's kick's shocking, but it might fall in Lappin's lap. It turned out to be a beauty, didn't it?
I don't think he meant that, but good fortune for the Blues.
They changed the balance up forward. Camperelli going into the square by himself with Blakey.
Capuano at the back. Couldn't quite. Franchina, good stuff to Sexton. Sexton steady, bouncing, rolling, and for the second time in this quarter, he's done a half a kick that's wobbled the wrong way and missed. 2 chances for Sexton.
He had a terrific chance then to drag the North defender towards himself and give the hand pass over to Camperelli.
I'm not sure what Archer was doing there, but lucky he pulled it up a bit. Blakey's kick's a beauty to Allison.
Brett Allison will go back and take his kick. He's a left footer. He'll come inboard. Into half forward. Carey and Co. Beaten in front by Koutafidis.
I still think the legs are going to be a major concern for the Kangaroos in the second half.
Bradley takes it from Cooter and tumbles a punt. Pike comes charging out of defence, but has it only for a moment. He needs support and he gets it through King. Look at David King go. He's sensational to watch. A couple of bounces. He's across the middle and up to half forward once again. Carlton have the numbers. Is Carey there? He was, but he couldn't take it. Sexton is wide. Rice called for it.
He's got Fraser Brown on his own down the wing.
Murphy takes it. A little too slow. Eventually gets it across to Mackay. Back towards Rice. Now Murphy once more. Swings in towards the middle. Hogg says go, and he does. Up to half forward, over the head of Whitnell. Pickett's at the back. Whitnell may have to do the roving. Pickett a chance. Can't pick it up cleanly. Still they go. The Lappin hand pass. Okay, out in front of Hamill. Taken by Martin now. Desperate work by the defence. Blakey gives it away, and he takes it back again from Martin Pike and comes away towards centre wing. Murphy and King both there. Ratton pokes it down in front. This is going to be a survival of the fittest clash. Beautiful play by Abraham to bring it back, but intercepted by McKay. A frantic passage of play as Pickett finally takes it over the line. What a sensational piece of play.
A couple of contests up on the wing. David King was real tired from that last run. He just couldn't get out of a trot.
Abraham in trouble also coming off the ground. But you're right, David King, he's not used to the running requirements of the midfield, and he's really blowing.
Chance here for the Blues. Koutafidis, left foot snap at goal. It's marked. Allen covering some territory has marked in front of Capuano. He's deep in the left forward pocket. Certainly not any advantage whatsoever here for Matthew Allen. It's a difficult shot.
And I wonder if this is going to be one of the things that...
He's kicked a goal, hasn't he?
I think he might have missed that near side.
He's missed, has he?
Releasing Koutafidis in the midfield. That's a trump card that David Parkin always had up his sleeve, and maybe that's something that can get the Blues going here. Well, the boys enjoying themselves.
Chase, I was going to say, as you attest, one of the harder kicks is to run out with right angles and try banana, as Matty Allen did. Very hard, very tough. I know Corey McKern did in the first quarter, but it's pretty tough.
King to himself, and gets it and delivers. Good kick to Blakey at half-back. 9-4 to 5-8.
The way the Kangaroos are going, they look spent. I don't think they can get to half-time quick enough.
Blakey, they're sitting on a 3.5 goal lead. Front spot, Manton, well played. McKernan at the back, Manton. Ball to be won, Scholl, and Manton comes out. McKay's been terrific, wobbles it to the line. One of the most interesting, Jules, is Lappin and Pickett. As good as Pickett is, Lappin's actually playing some pretty good footy at the moment.
Lappin's got to hurt him by putting some goals on the board. That's the way to bring down a bit of the influence that Byron Pickett has. He's obviously an inspirational player. He needs to kick goals on him.
Murphy getting plenty of it, finds some space, kicks to centre half forward, Hamill caught in the back, Mickey in the front, ball comes to ground, Martin, terrific stuff, to Bell, Bell can turn on a threepenny piece, kicks the ball back to centre wing, Scholl the flyer, he's taken it, terrific mark, Craig Scholl, he hung in the air forever and took a beauty.
I think eventually between the legs.
I think we might see it hit the ground, but the umpire was smothered, he was on the blind side. Played it.
What a grab.
Rice on the far side.
His kick marked by Sexton, who's got Rice, and now he goes around the outer side. Almost half-time here at the MCG in this 99 grand final. The Kangaroos holding their lead. Allison takes it from Bell. They can stretch it here. They need a mark from Carey. He's got to beat a couple. Silvani and Sexton both there. They pounce on it now. Silvani goes again. He loses it. Rice again shows desperation. Off to Silvani. Smashed towards the line. Deliberate, said the umpire. Throw it in. Andy McKay.
Interesting handball from Stephen Silvani when you're right next to the boundary line to handball it back into play. And Andrew McKay just got the shock of his life, I think, at that stage. He said, no, I don't want this.
Allen from the back. Seconds only remaining. Rice to clear, and he does for Carlton. Heading towards the outer side. Just stood his ground. They come over the top. Lappin takes an exciting mark. He's an aerialist of some note, this young man. Eventually taking it on the chest. He kicks to centre wing, and an absorbing first half comes to an end. In that quarter, Carlton jumped out of the blocks with the first 3 goals. Then the Kangaroos, as good as they are, replied and steadied the ship.
You'd have to say that after a magnificent start, the Kangaroos, through the emergence of a couple of their big names, in particular Shannon Grant, who had 7 kicks and kicked a couple of goals. And how could you forget Corey McKernan's 2 goals? Just when the game looked to be slipping from their grasp, McKernan turned in one of the most inspirational 5 minutes we've seen in grand final history.
So that's a situation, 9-4 to 5-8. Dennis Pagan, our troops in Tilly are watching this. They can see it on the big screen of the MCG, and the crowd really love it. So at half-time, it's 9-4 58 to 5-8 38.